December 26, 1900, a small ship, the Hesperus, approaches the remote Flannan Isles off the northwest coast of Scotland. The sea is cold and gray. The wind howls through the air like an omen. But something is wrong. The Lighthouse, a towering white sentinel meant to guide sailors to safety, is silent. No light, no movement, just emptiness. What the crew is about to discover will become one of the most chilling maritime mysteries in history. The Flannan Isles are a cluster of rugged, uninhabited rocks in the Outer Hebrides, remote, isolated, pounded by storms and waves that can swallow ships whole. In 1899, a lighthouse was built on Island Moor, the largest of the Isles. 3 men were stationed there: Thomas Marshall, the second assistant keeper, young and dedicated; James Duckett, the principal keeper, experienced and respected; Donald MacArthur, the occasional keeper, known for his strength and fiery temper. For weeks at a time, they lived cut off from the world, surrounded only by the endless ocean. When relief keeper Joseph Moore stepped onto the island that December day, he knew something wasn't right. Normally, the lighthouse crew would greet visitors from the landing platform. This time, no one appeared. The gates were closed. The clock inside had stopped. The beds were unmade, but the kitchen was eerily tidy. Except for one strange detail: a chair had been knocked over as if someone had left in a hurry. The real shock came when Moore checked the lighthouse logbook. The last entries were dated December 15th. 11 days earlier, Thomas Marshall wrote about severe storms and seas higher than he had ever seen in 20 years. James Duckett was reportedly very quiet, and MacArthur was crying, an unusual detail given MacArthur's reputation as a tough, hardened man. But here's the strange part. According to weather records, the seas around the island were calm that day. No storms were reported. The final entry simply read, "Storm ended. Sea calm. God is over all." After that, nothing. The Northern Lighthouse Board investigated. They found that 2 of the 3 oilskin coats, the heavy rain gear keepers wore in storms, were missing, but 1 coat was still hanging inside. This raised question. Why would one man go outside in brutal weather without protection? Why were all 3 men gone at once when at least one was always supposed to remain in the lighthouse? On the western landing platform, investigators found damage. Ropes, crates, and iron railings twisted and bent as if by immense force. It was clear the sea had been violent there, but had it been violent enough to sweep away 3 experienced men? Over the years, theories have swirled like the storms around Island Moor. Giant wave. The most accepted theory suggests the men were securing equipment during a storm when a massive rogue wave struck, pulling them into the ocean. But why does the logbook mention calm seas? Psychological breakdown. Isolation can weigh heavily on the mind. Some suggest one man snapped, perhaps MacArthur, the volatile one, leading to a violent confrontation that ended with all 3 lost to the sea. Paranormal forces. Local folklore speaks of ghostly apparitions and ancient curses tied to the Flannan Isles. Some believe the men were taken by something not of this world. Secret abduction. Others imagine a passing ship or spy vessel took the men, perhaps to prevent them from witnessing something they shouldn't. One of the eeriest details came decades later. Sailors who passed the lighthouse in the days after December 15th claimed they still saw its light shining at night. Was this simply a mistake? Or was someone still there, keeping watch? And then there's the matter of the island's reputation. For centuries, the Flannan Isles were shunned by locals, said to be haunted by spirits of the dead. The keepers themselves had joked uneasily about strange noises in the wind and shadows in the fog. In the end, the truth of what happened to Thomas Marshall, James Duckett, and Donald MacArthur vanished into the mist. The lighthouse still stands, now automated, its beam sweeping across the empty sea. But if you stand there on a cold December night, some say you can still hear the faint echo of voices carried on the wind. 3 men forever calling for help from an island that never gave them back. Some mysteries sink quietly into history. Others refuse to let go. The Flannan Isles lighthouse keepers remain a reminder that even in our modern world, there are places and moments where the unknown still reigns.